it's hard to get up 20 points in a Division I basketball game, and we've been able to do that in these first two contests. Credit to ETSU for really fighting back, continue to make it close, make it competitive, and obviously we haven't had a lot of late game situations yet. So with the young team trying to figure it out, but certainly always happy to figure it out after a win. We were challenged in a lot of ways, kind of execution down the stretch, making free throws, press offense, kind of how we're playing so that they don't quick score. So a lot we can take away and learn, but certainly happy to learn from a win.
Questions for LA or Max?
LA, a career high just in the first half tonight, and then you added to it. Between that and being matched up with one of their best options in the game, what was working for you tonight? How'd you feel out there?
I hit a shot early. Defense is pretty much my thing in general, so that's pretty much like normal. And then the rest just kind of took care of itself. I seen a couple one go in early, and then I kind of got hot. That was pretty much it.
LA, I thought it was a big moment in the game after ETSU went up 10 early. You hit those back-to-back threes. What gave you the confidence to hit those shots and then continue to hit the shots and then going into the play before halftime? Can you walk us through that play as well?
Honestly, just having a lot of faith. Like, I've been in a lot of scripture all week pretty much, and just kind of trusting that my time was going to come. Obviously having a lot of ups and downs, but just kind of believing, I know, always good is going to come, and just having faith in that. So I pretty much you got to know before it happens, pretty much. That's what I would say.
Max had asked you about that. The last play of the half, it looked like that's probably not how it was drawn off. But
Coach Taylor was like, either LA or Robbie get it, whoever they pressured. Then he seen that I was the one that was not getting pressured, so he sent me to the corner. So Robbie had a good drive, kicked it out, found it, went in.
Max, it felt like you were able to get to some of your spots with a little bit more ease tonight. Was that the Elon offense playing well, or was ETSU just defending you a little differently from what you saw against Wake Forest on Monday night? Or
I think over the summer I tried to lock into my diet and lose a couple pounds and I feel more agile on the court, but also I've been working and I'm trying to get to my spots more, play lower and be more physical, which will lead to me getting to my spots. And yeah,
the stroke looked really confident. Also, those 7 boards and 3 assists contributing in several different ways. What kind of impact do you feel like you were able to have for the team down the stretch as ETSU closed?
I think my ability to rebound would benefit myself and the team, but then it will figure out my game for myself for the rest of the game. So start the game, I try to attack the boards, and then that'll lead myself getting into the game, and then everything will figure itself out.
Max, what were you guys doing so well late in the first half and then in the second half when you built the lead? What were the things that were going well for you?
I think we were just moving it. I think Wake, in that second half, we watched the film and we knew it got stagnant, so we just kept moving it, and we all trust in each other, and we're going to keep building game by game. And as you saw at the end to that first half, we looked really good. So yeah.
Max, just like the Wake Forest game, the opponent mounted a comeback in the second half. This time around, how did you guys find a way to keep calm and still focus on getting the win?
I think in timeouts we tried to. Obviously, it wasn't the best, but we're going to build on it, and game by game, we're going to figure out how to close games. But a win is a win, and we'll take that any day of the week.
LA, it feels like y'all have a lot more depth, a lot more versatility this year. What do you feel like you've learned about playing with this group of guys, and what's it like to get thrown out there? It feels like you're out there with a different lineup combination constantly. So what's that like to?
It's actually kind of funny just because last year, coming in, obviously us 3 freshmen were pretty much almost 5 years older, 5 years, 6 years younger than a lot of our players we had last year. So this year we kind of got dudes that's kind of our age. So it's kind of just you playing with somebody who you kind of relate to it even more. It's just kind of you playing with people that you just it's just not that we didn't know our last teammates, but it's kind of it's a little different feeling playing with other young guys because we're all young, so we know we're figuring out together, which just allows us to trust each other a lot more, because we all know we all pretty much in the same position.
Like talking about the youth of that team, with such a young team, how were you guys able to come together at the end of the game when ETSU is storming back? And what does a win like that do for your morale in the locker room?
Like we have a lot of talent on our roster. All of us come from winning programs. I know that's what Coach Taylor likes to do. Like he makes an emphasis on recruiting winners. So pretty much all of us have won in high school. So that's kind of something that we are used to, regardless of being young or not. Like we win games, so we plan on winning games. And I know that was one of the reasons he recruited us. And, but that obviously like winning our first one at home is big. You got to keep building on it and just go from there. Like I know last year we didn't get our first Division I win until some time. So this year looking to build on this one.
Couple more questions, people.
You talked about your first Division I win last year didn't come until January 28th. How's it kind of feel for both of you to finally get that first win out of the way for D1?
Honestly, it's something we expect. Like obviously last year was last year. Had ups and downs. It was a new team trying to figure it out, new coach. But like Coach Taylor brought us in here to win. He came in here to win. So it's something that we hope to bring to Elon basketball, not just be like a surprise. You know what I mean? We expect to win, and we plan on winning more games.
Final question.
Max, coming from Australia and headed to North Dakota this weekend. Have you ever been to North Dakota this weekend
never.
or before? And are you looking forward to
Never
it?
heard of it. Never heard of it in my life. But like it's a good chance for us to get a road win and build on this game by game. And yeah.
All right, Max, thanks so much.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You mentioned that it's not easy to build those big leads at any time, and you've done that twice. That's got to be certainly the positive, I guess, out of this whole thing.
It's really encouraging because, again, it's hard to win a Division I game. It's hard to get up by 20 points on another Division I team, regardless of who you're playing. And to do it at Wake Forest and then against a really athletic, physical team like ETSU, really says a lot about what we've got on our team, on our roster. I love the fact that we have contributions coming from so many different people. So it's not like you can just game plan and say, hey, we're just going to stop this one guy. We get 36 points off the bench, and so many different guys stepped up and produced. And I love the fact that guys come in and they know they have to earn their minutes, and they play hard, they compete, and whoever's playing well, it's who we're going with.
Coach, just a few days after you hit 9 threes in the first half versus Wake, you hit 8 threes in the first half here. What are you telling the team to come out firing so hot every game?
Yeah, a lot of it was triggered by our defense. I think you guys might ask them like what got us that lead, kind of what staked us, and our defensive energy. I think there was a stretch in the first half where they might have scored 2 points over about 8 minutes. So our defense really got us going, and then we could get out in transition and play fast. We started giving up scores. Then they scored like crazy. Conversely, the last 10 minutes. So now we're taking the ball out of the net and we're going against set defense. So again, for a young team, just to figure out, okay, hey, when we are able to get stops and then finish possessions by rebounding, because we did force some misses and then they just went back and got it in the second half. But when we clean up those misses and we can get out in transition, then we're a pretty fun and exciting team to watch.
What's it kind of like as a coach to see LA developing the way that he has this past year? Yeah, no,
I'm really proud of him. As LA mentioned, he's had some ups and downs. He's played well and sometimes for us in games and in practice. And I know he had really big expectations on himself coming into this season. And I love the way that he's responded. I told our guys, it really doesn't matter who starts. And obviously you guys can see it does not matter who starts. We're going to start different lineups, probably a lot of games. We're going to have different lineups out there. And we started the second half different than we started the game because, we're going to go with the guys that are competing and getting it done and executing. So to see what LA did, and he played so well in the first half off the bench, we still wanted to bring him off the bench because his energy was just explosive when he came into the game. So watching what LA has done, watching how Max has continued to grow, DeAndre Smart, who we had for just a short amount of games last year, but really was impactful in both the exhibition game we saw and then tonight scoring double figures. Getting that kind of post presence is really big for us.
And then going 10 deep this game, big 10-man rotation. Wasn't something you had last year as much. What's it kind of like being able to, if a guy does make a mistake, you're able to take him out and put another guy who's going to be productive in there?
Yeah, one of our values is being accountable, and it's the bench will always make you accountable, and the bench always is a great teacher if you're not doing the right things. And sometimes it's just, hey, you know what, you may not be ready, or you might have made a mistake, or maybe you're not quite as engaged as you should be. And sometimes you have to learn through sitting on the bench and watching somebody else do it. So the fact that we played 10, and I didn't get a chance to get to a couple other guys that have been good. Isaac Carroll got 2 offensive rebounds for us against Wake, and Ned had 6 assists in the exhibition game. So we got a few more guys that are hungry for minutes too. So we got a lot of depth. We got a lot of guys that can shoot it. Obviously, that was a problem for us last year, shooting. And we've seen so far we got a lot of guys that can shoot the basketball and space the floor, and hopefully we'll continue to shoot it at that level.
Coach, you saw Cam Hildreth score 33 against you Monday. Peterson went for 31 tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Is there something defensively that you feel like other teams are keying in on to allow one guy to go for 30 plus? And I saw you experimented with the 2-3 zone a little bit tonight. Was that a effort to
just to slow him down a little bit? Yeah, Peterson, he struggled for a while. He was kind of volume, and then he caught fire. Right, I don't know. He probably made 5 or 6 shots in a row down the stretch. So his numbers ended up looking really good, 13 for 24, but it was much more inefficient prior to that. Asamoah, I thought we did a good job on him. He goes 3 for 11 from 3. Jaden Seymour stepped up and played great. He didn't shoot the ball that well in their last game against King. He didn't shot it pretty well in their exhibition, but he's been a bit streaky, so he kind of caught some fire. So a lot to learn from. Again, when you're up by 20 and your defense can relax a little bit, and we just have to understand that there's no time to relax. Not in Division I games, you cannot relax. And we're learning that now. Like, okay, and it's great. Hey, we won, so we can learn. Like, what do we need to do to take the lead from 20 to 25 to 30 and put the game away instead of 20 to 15 to 10, and then it becomes a ball game.
Sam Sherry back into the rotation tonight. Obviously, really big to have him back. Hit a huge 3 and then had the dunk to effectively close out the game. What did it mean to the team, and what did it mean to you to have him out there tonight? Huge.
Sam gives us a post presence, and he hasn't had a lot of practice time under his belt. The last few weeks, so he was a little bit off in terms of maybe some execution, some timing, even kind of making physical plays. But we know he'll continue to get better and better. And I love the fact that he made the 3, he got the dunk, got a couple block shots, so he protected the rim. So an area where we had some struggles, to see some guys, Kendall and Sam, protect the rim was really big for us, because we know a lot of teams are going to drive the ball, attack the basket. So having Sam back there as an anchor was important for us.
Was he full go, or did you have limits on his minutes, or?
Yeah, he was a little bit limited, but we used him as much as long as he was playing well. He was still not close to his limitation. So again, we got good minutes from Dre, so we kind of went with different lineups, different combinations that we thought could help us close it out.
10 of 16 on free throws. How do you react to that?
Yeah, you know what? Max missed a couple down the stretch there, which was a little surprising. He's closed out a lot of games for us. So TK missed a free throw down the stretch. So some guys that were pretty comfortable with shooting the basketball didn't make them down the stretch. So hopefully they'll step up. Again, they're workers, so we spend a lot of time shooting free throws. So again, obviously we've got a really good shooting team. We just got to take our time, slow down, and make them down the stretch.
As nerve-wracking maybe as it was with some of those loose balls in your backcourt in the last minute, but it seemed like you did end up with the ball almost all the time. You had to find your way to the ball, I guess. Kind of...
We had a lot of speed out there, which helped us. With Robbie out there, and LA and TK, and then some hands guys like Max and Zach. We had a lot of different guys that could handle the basketball. They could be quick to the ball, and even that last play defensively was kind of a quick to the ball. They throw it long, and TK gets a hand on it and doesn't even give him an opportunity to get a shot up. So a lot of good things. Again, just kind of working on some of our late game timing, our late game execution. Guys stepping up, making shots, making free throws when it matters. But again, really proud of us for how we played and how we closed.
Any other questions?
All right, thank you guys.